Hello, and welcome to a new Minisode of Coaster Kings A through Z. This is Sven, and the letter of the week is Z for Zadra.
Już otwarty, najwyższy na świecie, drewniany rollercoaster Zadra. Energylandia w Zatorze, najnowocześniejszy park rozrywki w Polsce.
Once upon a time, well, quite recently actually, in 2019, Europe went from only one RMC to three. The first iBox track roller coaster opened in Walibi, Holland, as revamp of the previous wooden coaster Robin Hood. Untamed had the title of being the first of its kind on the continent, but only a month later, ahead of schedule, the second one opened at Energylandia and became the world's largest iBox RMC, Zadra. Today, it shares that title with Iron Gwazi at Busch Gardens Tampa, according to Roller Coaster Database. What's also unique about the ride is that it was the first iBox track RMC, Rocky Mountain construction, built from scratch, instead of updating an existing wooden roller coaster. After the announcement at the end of 2017, construction began at the end of 2018. On the night of the 10th to the 11th of March 2019, however, the structure of the ride partly collapsed due to gusty winds, whose speeds reached approximately 110 kilometers per hour, 68.4 miles per hour. Nevertheless, the park confirmed that the next day, the opening in 2020 would not be in danger. By July 2019, the ride was completely constructed, as those already on the site construction got help from the team that finished Untamed the month before. Instead of waiting until 2020, they opened the ride in August 2019, which turned out to be a smart move. Zadra is the Polish word for splinter, which fits the wooden element of the ride. However, the ride stands tall as the main attraction in the Smoczy Gród area of the park, which is Polish for Dragon Castle. It was the first major expansion of the park, for which they had built a tunnel underneath an existing road to connect the midways of the park. Zadra received dragon-themed trains and thus figures as the threat of the nearby village. The Smoczy Gród area of the park can be described as a medieval village, where the roofs, full of ashes, feel as if you're walking into a Harry Potter movie. You can even see Hogwarts-resembled emblems which feature four elements: a green Z, a dragon, a knight, and an owl. This last one references to one of the other roller coasters in the area, Frida, a Vekoma family coaster. The third and last coaster in this Dragon Castle is Draken, a small Preston and Barbary coaster for the little ones. Next to the coasters, you can also find a small family ride Fuego, a monorail Dragon Adventure, and just recently they opened the Wonder Wheel Ferris wheel. Zadra begins with a long queue, a very long queue, and it does feature quite some stairs as well. Before going up the final ones, right before the stations, you arrive at one of the many locker stations of the park. Here you can buy a bracelet, if that was not already the case, scan it and put your bags away before riding. Energylandia has a rather curious queue system right before boarding for both Hyperion and Zadra. Atop of the stairs, you can choose between three lines. Line 1 is the front seat line, which obviously allows 2 guests to enter at a time. Line 2 is the single rider queue, but a better name would be a non-party queue. Here each time 6 guests can enter. And finally, there's line 3, divided in 2 parts, where respectively 6 and 8 guests can enter at a time. That brings us to a total of 22 guests pre-sorted at the time, while the train can accommodate 24. This often results in the crew members to call for an additional party of 2, reopening the doors as such. Our advice would be to never take lane 2, even when you're a single rider. It's better to choose lane 3 on the most right side to ensure a backseat ride, and you'll board much more quickly due to the system. Once in the train, you're ready for about 1.3 kilometers of track, 4,317 feet. The lift hill takes you to the highest point of 62.8 meters, 206 feet, where you'll drop down to eventually reach a top speed of 121 kilometers per hour, 75.2 miles per hour. During the ride, you will encounter 3 inversions. The first one is a stunning 0G stall right underneath the lift hill. The other 2 are very smooth and enjoyable 0G rolls. The ride is a non-stop journey of twists and turns with plenty of airtime moments. But brace yourself for the brake run, as you'll be thrown forward heavily. Without a doubt, Zadra stands tall as one of Europe's best roller coasters. To have this ride next to Hyperion, an impressive Intamin mega coaster, and Abyssus, a smooth Vekoma shockwave, plus, of course, the other 16 roller coasters currently built, it makes Energylandia a must-do destination for roller coaster enthusiasts. 2 of those total of 19 will open later this year in the brand new Sweet Valley area. And the future looks bright as well, as a tilt coaster is planned as well. However, Zadra alone is worth the trip, as it has everything an incredible coaster needs. A killer drop, lots of airtime moments, nice inversions, a smooth, lengthy layout, and a nice view on the nearby mountains. Thank you so much for listening. Visit thecoasterkings.com for exclusive park updates and a full range of coaster and park-related merchandise. And don't hesitate to follow us on your favorite social media app. And please subscribe and rate Coaster Kings Radio wherever you're listening to hear our next podcast episodes and future new Minisode series. For Coaster Kings Radio, I'm Sven, and thank you for joining us on our Coaster Kings A through Z.